In a world that moves faster every day, we are taught to chase results, to hurry, to run before we even learn how to walk. But somewhere along that race, we forget one simple truth: nothing beautiful ever grows in a rush. This is the story of patience and how it can change everything. Ethan was like most of us, ambitious, hungry, and determined. He wanted success now. He wanted to see results today. Every morning he woke up early, and every night he went to bed with a heavy heart, because the progress he hoped for never seemed to come. He would start a project, get excited for a few weeks, but when nothing big happened, he moved on to something new. He didn't realize that every time he started over, he was also starting from zero. Slowly, his excitement turned into exhaustion. He felt like life was moving forward for everyone else, except him. One evening, after another failed attempt, Ethan sat in silence. He looked around his small apartment, the empty coffee cups, the unfinished notebooks, the countless reminders of things he began but never finished. He whispered to himself, "Maybe I'm not meant to succeed." But deep down, a quieter voice answered, "Maybe you just gave up too soon." The next morning, Ethan went for a walk to clear his thoughts. The park was empty, except for an old man watering a small plant. It looked fragile, almost too small to notice. Curious, Ethan asked, "How long have you been taking care of this one?" The man smiled and said, "Almost 3 years." Ethan was surprised. 3 years? For this tiny thing? The old man laughed softly. "Patience, my friend. The roots take time to grow. You can't see them, but they're growing stronger every single day." Ethan stood silent, watching the drops of water fall gently on the soil. And for the first time, he realized something. Real growth doesn't happen where everyone can see it. It happens quietly beneath the surface. That night, he couldn't stop thinking about those words. The roots are growing. So the next morning, he began again, but this time, he chose patience over panic. He stopped rushing for results. He stopped comparing his journey to others. He decided to stay consistent, no matter how long it took. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and though progress was slow, Ethan noticed something new: peace. He wasn't as anxious anymore. He started enjoying the process instead of hating the wait. But life, as always, tested him again. One night, a deal he had worked on for months fell apart. It felt like all his effort had gone to waste. The old voice of frustration returned, whispering, "Quit while you can. You've waited long enough." But then, he remembered the old man in the park, and he remembered the roots. He whispered to himself, "Maybe I can't see it yet, but something is growing." So he continued. He worked quietly, without attention, without validation. He learned to show up even on the days he didn't feel like it. And slowly, things began to change. One small opportunity appeared, then another. Each time, he was ready, because he had been preparing all along. Ethan realized that patience isn't about sitting still. It's about growing silently until the world finally notices what you've built. A year later, he went back to the same park. The old man was there, watering the same spot. But now, the small plant had grown into a young tree. Ethan smiled and said, "You were right. It just needed time." The old man nodded. "Everything worth having does. A storm can destroy what grows fast, but never what grows deep." Ethan looked at the tree and felt something shift inside him. He finally understood. The time he thought he lost was actually the time he needed to grow roots. From that day on, he stopped rushing his life. He stopped chasing quick results. He learned to trust the process, to believe that every delay was shaping him for something greater. Because patience isn't about waiting and doing nothing. It's about believing that what you want is already on its way, just not ready to meet you yet. So if you're listening to this right now and it feels like nothing is working, if your efforts go unnoticed, if your dreams feel too far away, remember this: the roots are growing. You just can't see them yet. Keep going. Keep showing up. Keep believing in your timing. Because one day, when the season is right, your patience will bloom. And when it does, you'll understand the waiting was never wasted.